Hi, um, this is an update for Brahma 360 Studio, but also it's a shameless plug. So let's get the plug out of the way first of all. I am looking to license this software to other cat rig builders. So if you have built your own rig, if it's just personal for fun, or if you've built a rig that you are selling, now bear in mind 2 camera rigs, then get in touch if you're interested. If you like what you see following this plug, then get in touch, because what we're trying to do is support as many 2 camera rigs as possible. This software will expand and it may go to more cameras, but for now the important thing is 2 camera rigs back to backs, so 220 or 250 lenses on it. The second thing is if you have your Google, so you're someone who's got some money, wants to invest, hey, let's have a chat. Lots of things I want to do, but kind of my day job gets in the way, so there you go. But that shameless plug's out of the way, so let's get on with the good stuff. Right, so as you can see on the screen, this is the new Brahma 360 Studio. You'll notice that I've changed the layout. There's quite a few changes in this, and this is it's not a bad little update, this one. Whilst we're still on a journey, there's still work to be done. I think we're making fairly good. Well, I'm making fairly good progress. I don't know about with the royal we all the time. So as you can see, there's 4 main sections on this. So basically, in the top, you have the big button on the left for the player, for the media player. Now, that media player, at the moment, it's just for displaying on Windows. However, as this software can be exported to other platforms, it will go at different platforms. And for example, I want to make this available. So if you've got a headset, it will support all the different headsets with the media player. I mean, I know you've got them out there, but just so there's a bit of integration going on there. It does work at the moment with Google. So if you've got a version of this at some point that has for Android, you could run this straight on there. It's a couple of little tweaks to do for that. But anyway, so let's get on to this. So on the right hand side, there's the record. Now that's the live photo and image stitching part of the system. Now again, this is for 2 cameras, so back-to-back cameras. It's specifically designed for that. And I've supported about 5 different rigs at the moment. I intend supporting an awful lot more. But of course, all I need, if you want your rig supported, you don't have to. Well, it helps if you send me the rig, but you don't have to send me the rig. You can send me 2 videos, a front and back video sample. It's very high resolution. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It can be a minute long, 30 seconds. It could be shorter than that. All I'm going to do is take a frame capture from it and work out the maths and make the models for it, and so to build a profile for that rig, and then I'll add it to the list. And in the middle we've got Brahma Studio, which is obviously seen most of the updates. And this is the live stuff. This is the live streaming. Now, very few cameras can do this. I use the Git 2s mainly because they can give me. I can get 1920 by 1440p feeds over the USB, and that's very, very good. Now, if you've got these, okay, then well, this is a single one, but if you've got like a dual one, you could plug in any camera basically with a 220 lens on it and use it. Now, just for the record, I've tried it with the E4Ks. Feel free to buy the lenses. However, they do go in and they do work, but I get lower resolution than I do from the Git 2s. It's not me putting this down. It's just because it's just the way it is. Slightly lower, not much, just slightly low, even in the highest resolution. It's because of the amount of data it's filling on the lens. So, and also the fact that when you screw it in and you get up to a certain point that's focused, it's not in very much. It's only in by about 2 or 3 turns, so it's a little bit wobbly. So, if you're going to do that, that's fine. Just be aware of that when you're spending out your money. But so I'm obviously looking at for the other models, different rigs. So it doesn't really matter what rigs, as long as you got them back to back and they got 2 220 lenses, minimum 220 lenses or 250s. I think 220s are better because you get more data on the sensor. So that's those three parts. And at the bottom you see the control panel. I've kind of simplified this to make it so if you've got one of the rigs at the bottom, now these are specifically my rigs that I make. If you've got one of these rigs and you want to control it, so that's for the Git 2 and the Xiaomi original Xiaomi Yis. Just pick one of those and go for the settings. I'm not going to show that today. What I want to show you is the live stuff. Well, excuse me, the top three basically. Right, so let's get started. Let's do the easy one first of all. Let's jump into right, let me just load this up. Okay, so I'm looking over here, so just forgive me for looking away. Right, so we're going to run the player, which is the left-hand button, and what you see first of all, you see the bars. So what we'll do is we can do one or two things. We can, if we press F1, it opens up a file viewer, and we can go around and find a video file. If we press F2, we have memory slots, basically 10 video memory slots and 10 image memory slots, which you can store. Now this is more useful for the live side of things than the player, but it still can be used, and it's shared between the two. So when you add or remove one of these slots, then you will get. Now you will notice there's a blue letter beside each slot. So the videos run on the numeric keys. So if you press 1 to 0, one of those keys map obviously to the thing, and it also works on the number pad as well. If you press the top line, the QWERTY line, Q to P does the images. So that's quite useful. So let's turn it off. So let's pick one, and I always do this because I like Strictly. So I'm going to press 0, which takes me straight into Strictly. So now this is the viewer, so you can see. I'll tell you what I will do. Actually, hang on. There we go, because I have a feeling that was going to be really loud. Right, so what we've got here, so I can turn around with the mouse. Now, if you had a headset on, you can look around with the headset, but of course you'd want to put it into VR mode. Now, on the keyboard here, I've got a V, but on the headset, it's going to be different. So I'm just concentrating on the keyboard at the moment. So press V, so you get the two here, and I can scroll around just to show you more of it. Obviously, with the headset on, you don't need to do that. So let's go to here. You can also go up and down. So you see, it's a viewer. Okay. So say I want to play another video, I can just press 1, change another one. Let's not do that one because I got in trouble for copyright on the music. Well, that is a very good video. I really do like that one. It was done with the original Brahma 7. Yes, Brahma 7 shows what can be done with the old Xiaomi Yis. This was also done with the Xiaomi Yis. In fact, let me turn off V. This was also done on the Xiaomi Yis, and which is actually really nice. It's an advert done, I think Israel, I think it was. Anyway, let's go back to bars. So back to there. So that's the media player. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. That. And press escape takes me back to here again. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to come on to the pre-recorded stuff. Now, if you've got, I've been on a bit of a journey with this. When I first did the rigs, my idea was, here it is. My original idea was, see, these are the little duets. I wanted to be able to make it so that if you've got a duet, you didn't have to, because these only cost, this rig here costs just under £500. Okay, so that's including the software, the cameras, the rig, the lens, the 220 lenses. There's everything for £500. If you had one of those, you then had to spend £600 on Auto Pano or Video Stitch. Now they're fine products, but it's an awful lot of money to pay. So I've been trying for some time to be able to work on that, and I think I've achieved it to a great degree. It's not finished, okay, and if you're a professional and you need pro output with these rigs, then you may still want to buy colour. However, for most people, hopefully it will do mostly what they want. So let me just show you that as a give an example of that. So if we click on the big record button, that takes us in. Now you'll notice at the top, anyone who watched this last time, you notice there's a few more buttons at the top here now. There used to be duet, telesyn. The duet N9 220s and the telesyn's are the two lens options you can get with this little rig, okay, with the duet rig. However, the rest of them for Gear 360. So if you've got a Gear 360, you can bring your front and back videos into here and you can stitch it. If you've got a hero, for this example, there's a hero back to back with 250 lenses, and I'm going to add more and more rigs as we go along, but I can't do that without the sample footage. So if you've got some, send it to me, tell me about the rig and the lenses, and then I'll make a profile pack for it, and then I can support more and more. On the left is the Kodak SP360 4K. So if you've got a Kodak 360, you can bring the files into here and it'll use them. So how does this work? Just because if you'll notice at the bottom, you'll see where there's a letter. Obviously, there's help to tell you that in different screens you're going to get messages are telling you, the help guide telling you which hotkey, because it's all hotkey based. Okay, I've done it that way to make life simple. So it's hotkey based. But now for example, let's pick on the Kodak SP. Let's pick the Kodak SP360. So I click on that and it goes into profile. Now you can see this is an image that was already stitched. Okay, but I'm going to go in and find this video file. So all I do is I click on the load. I go to load, and I need to go back to my C drive to my videos, and then I've got this sample in here which people have sent me. Okay, and I want to go and get the front MP4. So I select that, and then I want to go and get the back video. So I click on here and I go to the back video and select that. So now I've got two videos in there, and now I can stitch it. Now here's the important thing: everything you're going to see here, apart from the apart from the picture saving, so I can, if I wanted to, I can press C for screen capture at any point in time, and I can. Pictures are different, but the actual video. I use XSplit. Now the question's been asked, well, why don't you just output the video yourself? Well, it's actually quite a lot of work to output the video from the software and do the streaming, etc., etc. And to me, it seems pointless. If you've got something as good as for a screen capture system, for example, XSplit, which is recording this at the moment, it allows me to record what my software is putting on the screen and stream that either to a hard disk so you can view it later, or stream it direct to YouTube, Twitch, however you want to do. Anything that supports 360 that will go through XSplit, and we are talking with XSplit at the moment as well. So, so that's why I do it this way. So we use XSplit to fill in the parts that they're experts at, and we let them do that. Right. So let's go on to this now. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. My GPU is getting a bit busy. I'm just going to shoot. No, I'm not. Right, so basically what I want to do is I want to now load in. I'm going to load in. Here we go. Right, I'm going to load in these two. Oh, I've got these videos already. So now they're in there, so they're ready to go. So all I've got to do now is press stitch videos or picture. Okay. Now it might want to be slow. It's because I'm recording everything at the same time here, so it might glitch a little bit. That's for that reason. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select Duet, enter 220. I'm going to select load, go and find those images, Telecine, enter 220, let's go, sample images, here we go. Right, let's go for this one, select, and the back one, select, stitch. There you go. So basically it's taking the two pictures. Now what this is done, this is just literally doing it. Now I can move this around. You can see, so this is actually stitched, and it's stitched onto it's stitched with the template that's built. So you can see it's pretty well stitched. It's not perfect. We do also have, which is coming very soon, we do have a toolkit that will stitch and blend the images, and in a later release, not too long I hope, but that we will release that a bit later on, so you can press this and then blend it, and the same image will then be created and then blended. Okay, so that's that. Right, so now that's the live stitching for video and images for a variety of rigs, so you don't have to buy one of our rigs. Okay, what we've got here is Brahma 360 Studio, and you're on the main screen now. Now it's hotkey based, so as you can see, there's at the moment you can see we've got the hotkeys are listed at the top and bottom. If I press the space bar, they disappear, so it's completely hidden now. This has a lot of functionality. We can do the same thing as we did with the player. So I can load and play videos, pre-recorded videos that I've done with either my Brahma 6, Brahma 7 or any other rig, or the duets, and brought that into the system. Remember that in this panel here, I'd load them in prep. You don't want to use this one because obviously when you're running this live, because this is meant to be a live stream system, so you don't want to run that one because obviously it's going to affect it. And in fact, you don't really want on the F2. That's why I've done it on a hotkey base. So you've got 10 videos, 10 images already on the hotkey. So for example, I can just, again, let's pick the video again. So you can see this is live. Now what it's doing is it's building a display that XSplit is going to stream. Okay, that's the key thing here. And I can pick another one. Let's jump into this one. Okay, this is a video. This is being recorded with. It's done by Hexascope, my friend Tony, and he's using the Brahma 7s for this, or actually Brahma 8s. I've got another one here, so let's just load a couple of others. So you can see we can bring in videos from all over the place and skip between them. Now you might want to have a couple of pictures. I might let this run just for a second. Now of course this is all being recorded. This will be recorded live to YouTube, and you can hotkey between everything. So this is I quite like this one. So I like this one. So there you go. So this is nice. I'm not done with my reads, but it's just a very nice. Yeah, that's it. Just go back to bars. So press F4 takes me back to bars. Or I might want to load in some images. So I can go on to, for example, press the hotkey for the image, and then I come up with a sample image. Now these are still stitched, so you can see I can still move them around. If you want to adjust them, you should in theory have these all ready to go. Now what you might want to do, obviously, of course, is to be able to do live video. Now this is where you come to you need a rig that can input live video into the computer so it can be used. So for example, if you've got intensity, a capture card like this, and you need 2 inputs to do front and back. If you've got a capture card, you can pretty much use any rig. It's up to you. If it's supported in the software, then you can bring that into the system. Now obviously I have the Git2s because they do a really nice resolution, 1920 by 1440, which gives you, actually when you stitch them together, it gives a good 2560 by 1440. It's a nice, especially with the enter panos. I mean, you can probably see it. These enter panos are absolutely fantastic. It gives you more data because it fills more of the sensor. So you get a lot more data, and it's a nicer lens. And they are the telecins we use are they're good. They give you nice results, and there are some sample videos, but you can't. These are fantastic. So I use this one all the time. They do cost money, so bear that in mind. But yeah, so let's now, what we want to do is I want to show some live video. Now I'm going to press F6 and it's not going to look right. So if I press F6, so you can see it's actually not right. I've added a camera into the system, another web camera into the system. Now this is a recent update. So I've added another web camera into the system, and it's basically the cameras have gone wrong. So I need to just do this, obviously do this before you go live. So I'm going to press F3, takes me into the camera control panel. Now my video here, I may have to refresh it because there you go. I'm going to have to refresh that. Bear with me. And this is just purely because XSplit is using the video subsystem at the same time. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to do view cameras. Okay. Now you can see there's 2 cameras there, and there's a black one on the second on the grid. That's because that's blank because it's being used by XSplit. This is what I'm saying. It's quite complex. So to record this video, I'm obviously running Brahma Studio and XSplit and kind of recording from it, so it gets a little bit all over the place. So right, you can see the front and back cameras here. So you can see I've got I've got the front camera, but I'm showing up the back camera as the second one. So I need to change the back camera to this one, okay, and then save live settings, and it will now go back into the system, back into the 360 Studio viewer. It's rescanning all the drive. Right, so back in here, so just turn off the hotkeys. Now if I press F6, okay, and you can see that it's now loaded, okay, and if you look all round, you can see it now. The stitching is almost spot on, but it's not perfect. We're still working on this. I can give an example. So if you look to the left, anything that comes close obviously affects it. So if I come in close, and if you look to the left, you can see, if you look at the chair, see the stitching on the chair, and on the right you can see, yeah, so it's almost spot on, but it's not perfect. We're still working on that. Hope one day to be able to do blending, but that's a bit further down the road. So as you can see, we've now got a live stream. So we've got that, and we can switch again. We could switch straight to another video if we wanted to. As you can see, it's a live video, and then come straight back into the camera. So we can see we come back into the camera. So the idea is to build everything you're seeing on this screen above me is or would be streaming to YouTube or wherever. So I think it does quite a good job. And as far as performance is concerned, you do need a beefy machine. You definitely need an i7, a 6700 series. It doesn't have to be a K, but one of the a good quality i7. I recommend that. I wouldn't go any lower than that. You don't find it gets used a hell of a lot. I mean, at the moment, the whole thing's only using about 30% CPU, but there are times, if I was streaming this to to stream it to YouTube, actually the CPU gets hit a lot harder, so it's actually good to have an i7. The GPU side, I've got a 1080, but most of the time it's not doing much. But of course, at the moment, it's kind of, well, I've already said that, so I'm expecting my machine to do an awful lot. So yes, that's the live part of it. There's also, we can you will be able to have two, if your system's capable, you'll be able to have two cabled cameras, making two rigs. But you can also have connect one of these the Git2s via Wi-Fi. So as long as you have Wi-Fi connection to the computer, you can switch to a Wi-Fi, which I've shown in a previous video. But you can switch to Wi-Fi, and you can walk around wherever you are with one of these. So you're going to see some videos coming up. I've ordered myself an Alienware laptop, so I'm going to take it out in the field and do some mobile. I've got a nice little Note 4, so I'm going to use the Wi-Fi on that. I hope that went bang, didn't it? Probably. So yeah, I think hopefully this has shown you that the system's pretty good. If you're interested, I'll talk to this camera, shall I? If you're interested in getting involved, if you're a hobbyist and you're making your own rig and it's a two-way rig, and you want me to support it, as long as it's kind of mainstream, I can see the sense in doing it, then just send me a couple of videos or get in touch with me, and then we'll sort out support for it. If you make your own back-to-back cameras and you'd like my software to support it, get in touch. I'll need if you want to send me the rig, great. I can see what else it can do. Might be able to open up more functionality. If not, just send me a couple of video files. Gives the details about the rig, spec and so on, so we can name it appropriately. We'll create a profile for you. Just so you're aware, the cost-wise, the software is actually, if you buy one of my rigs, one of these little duets, okay, you get all this live streaming, you get all this software with it. That's included in the price. If you want to buy it separately, it's £100 license. Now it's very, very cheap. I've kept the cost very, very low because I think people need to be able to get into this market, and a lot of people want to build their own rigs, and this software can be very expensive. There's some streaming software out there that is prohibitively expensive unless you're a studio. Now, if you are a studio, you're going to need different levels of support from me, and I will be offering support packages so you can get more of my time. Okay, so I'll be pricing them later on. But if you just want to get in, get a rig, even if it's not one of mine, you can go and get it. You can, if you go to my site, www.brahma360.com. If you go there, and if you create yourself an account, log in, create an account, and then in the account menu on the right, go down to software registration, click on that. You'll get a temporary key, which I think lasts 45 to 60 days. And there's a download link for Brahma Studio. You can download the software and play with it to your heart's content. It will time out. And if you want to buy it, then I don't think £100 is too much to ask. So that's it. Again, if you which ones do I look at? If you want to talk about licensing the software, like for example, you make these cameras and you want me to support your cameras, you'll need to be able to do a high resolution 4:3 mode and be able to connect decent quality lenses. if you want to do live stuff, that's a whole different ball game. We need to see if maybe you can do streaming over USB. If that's possible, fantastic. You need to be getting 1440p minimum. So 1920, 1440, anything less than that is not worth it. It's one of the reasons I don't do the Yees, because they're Wi-Fi, or they're Wi-Fi, they don't do USB PC camera. So if your camera will connect as a PC camera and do a high resolution, fantastic. If not, you've got an HDMI output, which sadly the Yee 4K doesn't have it. But the original Yees do, so you might be able to use them if you just use the highest 4.3 mode. Plug it into a dual version of this, or something similar, and connect it up, and then just get in touch with me. And if you've got that kind of setup, let me know. I need footage. I'll support it, and we'll put it in a new release. But that's it, really. Again, shameless plug. If you've got a ton of money sitting in your back pocket and you want to fund this, great. Just give me a call. A lot of the work's done. It's just now it's fine tuning. One thing that really does need doing, and I am aware of this, and I don't know. One thing that really does need doing is the user interface needs an overhaul. There is work to be done on that, and I'm tweaking as I'm going, but ultimately it does need an overhaul. But that involves maybe designers and that kind of thing. So I'm not funding it. I'm just doing this in a nice, steady way, with what time allows. But yeah, that's it really. Enough of the plug. So there you go. If you've got it, please upgrade because the new version is better. I will be doing more changes. For example, the only thing wrong with it really at the moment is when you're doing this streaming, when you go to if you want to load a picture and you press a picture. Oh no, that's a video one. Sorry. If you want to watch a picture, press a picture. That's video. Let's pick one, shall we? So if you want to switch to a picture, it can take about 4 seconds, depending on the size of the picture. So that's actually to do. That's to do with one of the toolkits I use, and I'm looking to fix that as soon as possible. But yeah, so that's the only thing at the moment, and I will have that sorted out. Let's go back to here. I'll have that sorted out soon. Send another update. But yeah, that's it. Waffled on forever, as usual. Everyone knows I do. So thanks very much for your time. If you made it to this end, right to the end of this, then thanks very much. Anybody, see if you can tell me what that computer is. So if you got this far, tell me what that's on, what computer and what's running, just for fun. That's it. Thanks very much. If I can find the stop.